Hey, folks, welcome to the Leeds View podcast, the first of our two podcasts this week, along with daily Leeds United news. We are partnered with Fanatics, an official Leeds United partnership, to promote the new away strip. If you are buying the Leeds United away kit and you want to help support the channel, you can do so using the links down below. We got a bit to talk about tonight. We are going to talk about the end of season awards, which will be towards the second half of the video, that you've all nominated. We didn't nominate any of these. We asked you for your nominees to answer a couple of questions. We're only allowed 4 spots in the YouTube poll, so not everybody made it. It was those who were nominated the most. And then we put them into polls so you could vote on them. So you have voted for the Leeds View Players of the Year awards this year. We'll cover them. The lads don't know who the winners are just yet. We'll get their thoughts on it as well. But I am joined by Gerry and by Paul to have a chat about Leeds United. We'll check in with the lads first to hear they're getting on. Gerry, how are you?
Not bad. It's been a quiet week. We're just building up to the World Cup. Lots of meaningless friendlies. I'm just looking at old World Cup stuff at the moment. Stuff from the 70s when commentaries used to be done through telephones and you could hear klaxons in the background, and you've got my favorite, coolest player's name is Johnny Rep. He used to play for Holland, obviously Cruyff and all. Johnny Rep, and I was just watching goals by him. I got into practice. I watched Ireland Canada the other night, 1:15 in the morning kickoff, and I did okay, but I had to watch Jesse Marsh on doing his usual, and I say it, performative prick on the sideline. He got booked, and he knows the camera's on him. Oh God. Anyway, we drew 1-1. It was all right, but it was good practice for Austria versus Jordan or whatever it is. Going to be 3:00 in the morning. I saw a headline that got me interested. Declan Rice in Vice scandal, but then I realised he's the England vice captain. But you know, it's going to happen someday. But my main thing this week is moles. I don't know if you've seen me Facebook. I've had moles in the garden, and they've got political, these moles. They've got and everything. So I've written them a strong letter, and I'm going to have to use force. Apparently, they don't like vibration, so there's a joke in there somewhere. And the dog's had a haircut, looks like a cloud, and smells gorgeous. So that's been my week in a nutshell. Yeah, come on, Leeds.
I meant to have your mole images ready. Do you know that? I forgot about it. Watching during the week is like I'm putting these on.
It's a friend of mine that's done those, but they are funny, aren't they?
But they started. It started off like, you know, a residential dispute. Then it got political. There was unions involved, and now they've gone full right wing, and it's gone very political.
Yeah, so, I've sent in the force. Yeah, I've sent in force. The cat got one of them the other day, I think. Yeah, But I'll tell you what, it was a barrow full of topsoil these guys have dug up. Apparently it's got quite good quality, but it's really annoying. I feel violated when I look out in the morning and I see 3 mans. It gets me angry.
On the screen for the end of the podcast before we finish.
Good job the World Cup's coming. It'll distract me. Yeah.
Anyway. Paul, how are you? I think we got off lightly with your monologue tonight.
We did. We definitely did.
Paul, how are you doing?
It's a Leeds podcast, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I know. God, we've only been going for 3 minutes. We haven't even touched on it. I'm good. I'm very, very good. Thank you. We are going to speak about it, I suppose, a little bit, but I did my first furore down to the stadium last night and had a walk around, had a look at bits we're going on to just kind of update people. I'm just for my own curiosity as well, and it's just interesting to see how all of that's kind of moving on. And I said before we came on air, I used to have the POV drone, the one where you wear the goggles and you basically control it with just the things. You can get it to go up and down, up and down. I've only gone and sold it like a few months ago.
I would have loved to have seen you with those goggles on and beast and flying a drone around.
Mate, it's incredible. It's genuinely, it's an incredible bit of kit because you could get it thingy and dive and swoop and move, and it's just we could have done some really cool action shots and annoyed all the security guards when I crashed into the roof for the 4th time. But it was really nice just to see everything and just to get a bit of a feel for what's going on, and that kind of, even though we know it's real, you still kind of go, doesn't feel real, but then going to the ground it does. Gerry's going to like his new posh bit that he gets to go and sit in, to go and look at, which looks really good. I got shouted at for using the for saying tarp rather than tarpaulin. That's semantics. It's just a shortened version of tarpaulin. So
cheat.
Well, yeah, but it's it's coming along quickly. The stuff that's coming down is quick. So obviously the ticket office is gone. The kettle run for the away fans, that's starting to be demolished. Just everything is moving fast, really, really fast. They've built a massive sort of like building that's got all of where all of the staff and everything can go, so they can go into that bit of like the breakdown and what work needs to be done and all of that kind of a muster building, I think is probably the right phrase for it. But kitchen areas and dining areas for the new bits and pieces. I'm just going into it, I don't care. The kitchen area, the dining bits and pieces, all of that's there for people for when Gerry gets to go and have his pie and a pint and all of that kind of stuff. So I know, but it does look good. It doesn't look slapdash, and it doesn't look temporary. They're taking it seriously, which is a nice thing to see. But it was seeing like a third of the banqueting suite building gone, and bits because it was windy, and bits of the aircon units ducted in, just spinning around in the in the wind, which was interesting. But it's real. It's going to be so interesting to see how quickly it all starts to move forwards, and it's going to be interesting to see how they do the getting everybody from the banqueting suite bit to the stadium. I mean,
probably down the pitch side.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's how it'll be done. So it'll be interesting to see how all of that kind of works out and stuff. But that I did that yesterday. That was really good. I really enjoyed it. I made friends with the horse on a walk.
That.
Yeah, Mr. Edge, was it?
Mr. Edge, yeah.
But where I live, I'm really lucky. I live near I live literally on the Leeds Liverpool Canal, and there's a farm the other side where you can walk through, and they look after horses and keep horses there. But my wife doesn't like horses. She gets scared of horses because they all follow you. They just start walking behind you, because horses, as lovely as they are a bit thick and don't realise how big they are. So you're talking like a 400-kilogram bloody horse just banging into you. So I'm walking, holding this horse like this as I'm walking along, and then we got to the bit and he was just sniffing my ear. So I was giving him some food and asked him if he needed any money or did he need to phone his parents or anything like that. But it was
there was on once, yeah.
But it's just really nice. I'm lucky in that sense, like I say, where I live, because I get to do stuff like that, and it's a nice little de-stressor, which is good.
Yeah, well, folks, next week on A Question Weekly, Paul will have an update on the horses that he's met on his travels over the last couple of days.
I'm going to call him Chestnut.
Chestnut, very horsey name. Horse Chestnut. Right, folks, let's talk football, because there's going to be one or two people, as per usual, annoyed that we're not talking about football. Welcome to podcasts. This is how podcasts go. It's our weekly chit chat and a chance to catch up. There's a bit of stuff to talk about. Paul's already done the Elland Road update, so we can chalk that off the list of what we were going to talk about anyway, but he's covered it now. It's very exciting. I like the Leeds pies. I didn't get the whole pie culture. I'm going to be honest, as an Irish person, I didn't get it. So everyone's like, oh, you go to a football ground, you get a pie. I'm like, why? Like, what's the deal with the UK and pies? And then Gerry brought me to one of the games, and I had beef pie, and I got it. Like, immediately, like, this is delicious. Like,
it took them a while, because some of their earlier pies in the season weren't great, but on a pie rating, it's definitely gone. Is the Bremner Suite gone? Is that gone, Paul?
Yeah.
Is it?
Most of it,
yeah, most of it's gone. So about a third of it, like I said, is gone. I would suggest that they need to be. I think some of the roofing was being taken off as well. It's whether or not I don't think there is, but it's whether or not there's any asbestos in that roof. But there is definitely
in the West End.
The West End above, there's definitely some.
Sure, the West End is made out of asbestos.
I'm practically glowing by the time we walk out of that place. So it's just pretty typical.
I can't go near a Geiger counter after being to the West End. I think they are making provision for people with mobility issues and elderly. I know they've been talking to a few people, and they might make accommodation for them in the East Stand. I think that a lot of ongoing. That's all very important to do. So it'll be interesting. Not since the end of the season, I've not heard, other than what we've seen online in your thing, Paul. I've not heard anything, but that'll be forthcoming, I suppose, when it gets closer, which won't be too far away. It's about 10 weeks, is it? The start of the season, something like that. I don't know. But, it'd be mad. Yeah, I imagine the first game of the season will be away. Give them an extra week.
Do you know what? We were talking about this. I thought the same thing, and then me and Paul figured out Leeds have announced the game against Red Bull before they come to Dublin in Elland Road. So they are
That's
playing a
true.
game at Elland Road. So
Very true. Yeah, I never
must have
thought
a
of that.
plan.
Yeah, oh, well, fair enough.
They know what they're doing. God, I'm used to this. People are
On
on
I've got a hard hat. Yeah.
the commemorative stone bit I mentioned about that as
the
well.
Bielsa wall and the Wilkinson
the
way.
Bielsa wall's looking really, really nice as well. They're sort of probably 2/3 of the way with that on the right hand side of the doors to go into the east stand. So that looks fantastic. It looks really good.
Looking forward to seeing that.
What they really need to do at Elland Road, and I don't know if it's in the plan, is a museum.
Yeah.
Or just there's so much stuff that we don't. The clubs, other clubs have a museum, and a trophy room and that. I think it spurs the breeze.
Is needed.
Yeah,
behind the back of the newsstand, just have a couple of statues of all the key people called the Walk of Fame or the Hall of Fame, whatever you want to call it, and recognize the ex-legends.
Yeah, all around the ground because we haven't got enough stands. That iconic when the Billy Bremner's sitting on the shoulders of the FA Cup, they need to recreate something like that. And just a trophy room, or as Rangers call it, the room. But anyway, that's another story. Sorry, didn't mean that.
That's your sister club you're talking about. You got to be careful now.
Yeah, oh God, that's some part of the family I don't want to. Yeah, estranged. Yeah.
That's your cousin. That's the cousin you don't talk to. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Anyway.
Let's talk some football. Right. So there's good stuff going on this week. Before we get to the end of season awards, we'll talk about Ethan Ampadu. New 4-year contract. Didn't get a chance to talk to the lads about this last week because it happened, after we'd done our weekly podcast. He has been speaking with LUTV. He's been speaking with Leeds Live and the Yorkshire Evening Post. Said he is grateful for the trust that Leeds United have put in him. Very grateful to the words that Parag Morate said about him. He said he feels like he represents the fans well. He is from a hard-working background. Leeds is a hard-working city, and he feels that he represents the fans by working hard on the pitch. And he feels that since he's joined Leeds and Ampadu has been a very good fit together. He said that the manager's trust in him has been absolutely massive, and he is very grateful for that. And he wanted to stay at Leeds because of the club's plans to move forward. So again, ambition, tick. That's 3 people in the last couple of weeks that have mentioned ambition. So huge start to the transfer window or the summer window, which opens next Monday. Parag Morate did his interview last week as well, Gerry, and he's talked about the fact that we've got to be a bit more creative in this window, but we want to increase the level of the floor. But getting Ethan Ampadu signed down to a new deal is a strong statement to the rest of the market who maybe are having a little sniff around them.
Yeah, well, we said last week or the week before about what they were doing, and it's good business decisions and building on what we've built this year, and I think that's important. There was a bit of rumor around Ampadu and Villa and all that. Never really took that serious, but the longer the summer goes on, these things. But great sign, and he's still only 24, only 25, 24, whatever, and he's such a leader. Just he gets it. He gets Leeds, and I think. Anybody who's invested in a traffic cone is relieved because they can still use it next season. But I think it was a few times last season. I remember Tyler Adams when he came on against Bournemouth, and he knew what Leeds fans were thinking, and he had that little go at him. I think he knew him actually, didn't he, from previous. And a couple of things like that, Hannibal, and that's Leeds fans like that. But you notice when he's been injured, he comes straight back into it, and sometimes you think too serious, too early. And it's not been, it takes him a while, but I think he's such an important member of the team, and he just conducts it all. And I think since he came in, 7 million, great signing, needed to find a home, been on loan, one of the Chelsea loanees, and he had a few where he got relegated, not his fault, but I think coming to Leeds, he gets it, and he's been vital to us. And that's the first block in there. You keep your best players. You keep your best players. You keep your players who are influential. And I can't speak highly enough of him. And he deserved his award this year, Player of the Year and everything else. So great. Let's do that, and let's announce a few more things. Anybody contracts either way, the manager, everything else. It's important, those signings, never mind new signings, important you keep what you've got. Because it used to be, great players, let's sell them. Yeah. That was the way 10, 15 years ago. And thankfully those days are gone. And there doesn't seem to be, touch wood, anybody sniffing around our best players from last season. Things can change, but I think it's important, to, as I said before, to maintain those. And very happy to see that. It was good. I seen him interviewed on Sky today, as proper captain, proper professional, said plug her all, and it all said all the proper things, you know, and that's what's important. Yeah. I wanted him to say something outrageous, but he didn't. Doesn't happen these days, does it? No. Yeah, get a couple
Stick
of
him on a
pints
bus
in
with
a
a few points. He'll say something. Yeah.
traffic cone on his head. He'll tell you anything. Yeah,
it's a big one, Paul. It's an important one to get locked down. But again, to Gerry's point there, Prague did say we want to maintain the squad that we've got. We will lose some of the peripheral players because of, you know, minutes are at a premium now. And if you're bringing in players who are going to demand minutes, then those who aren't getting a lot of minutes will have to move away. But talked about keeping the most important players. They've got Baron Cross's piece as well, said the likes of Bial, Rodon, Stack, DCL. They want to make sure they maintain all of them. So it's a strong one because, look, newly promoted side, in inverted commas, as always, you would expect people to start just picking off your best players. All the clubs have been linked with them, like even that lot in Manchester were linked with Ampadu at one point as well. So just to be able to go, no, that's done, dusted, nice and early, end of story, not getting into a conversation over summer. We'll see if we can get there locked down. But we do know that if the likes of Aronson, Gruev, Stroke don't sign new deals this summer, whoever decides, whichever side decides that that's the way it's going to be, they will be sold. So next is planned, Paul, but important to keep the important ones.
Hugely, because what we want to do is we want to be improving and moving forward season on season. That's what we want to do. It's at this moment in time, we're on this kind of almost like 3-year maintenance plan, which is establish, but it needs to be establish with a bit of improvement, establish with a little bit of improvement, and it needs to be done in such a way that it doesn't financially cripple us, that it doesn't put us at a complete disadvantage in terms of bringing in players. There isn't a huge overhaul of the squad that's required. I don't think. The important thing, I think, for any prospective players that are going to be coming in, we've got now tangible that we can show players. We've got this really nice new shiny stadium that we're going to be building. Our captain and our player of the year has just committed to the club for another 4 years with quote unquote bigger or more established clubs that have been looking at him. Come and play for us. Come and get involved. It's not a difficult sell. I mean, it says what Wales Online were reporting, that Ampadu's been in Harry Wilson's ear, telling him how fantastic the club is, all of that kind of good stuff, which is great. And people need to remember with the Harry Wilson situation as well, he had signed, or he'd agreed to sign on deadline day.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people are thinking it might not happen, but there's a decent chance that it could. And if you've got your players that are having a word in their ear about telling them how good it is, how good the area is, how good the crowd is, everything, all of that kind of stuff, it works really, really well, and it works in your favor. And it's that for the first time in ages, people looking outside and looking into our club aren't going, what an absolute basket case of a club this is. They're looking at it going, ooh, this feels a little bit more sensible. There's a little bit more going on, and there's been a little bit more strategizing that's been going on to try and get us kind of where we need to go. And look, you know, people aren't ever going to, some people won't like Farke, some people won't like the 49ers, some people won't like the Red Bull side of stuff, but at the end of the day, for me, if the club is being successful, then that's what's most important. If they're building a legacy down the line, and don't forget, it's investment people that have bought the company, they will want to sell it at some point. So they need to make sure that it's an absolutely stunning shiny penny when they do come to sell it. So it makes it right for them to be doing the investment side of things. Although if you do talk to Larry Nance, he will tell you that he is in it for life. I still remember being stood in. Put him.
Some of them will be, and some of them
I think so. But I've been stood in the Peacock with him, and a lovely guy, buying everybody beers, just being nice. You've got Lowy, who is a lifelong Leeds fan as well. You've got people that are astute businessmen, but also get the fan side of things with Leeds United. And what we've tended to have is absolute basket cases, or it's somebody that is one or the other. When it comes to Leeds United, they're either from a fan point of view, or they're astute businessmen and don't get how to get a football side of things to work. And we seem to have that doing. I nearly spilled my coffee then. We seem to have that doing a lot better at the moment, which is really, really good to see. And key to that, and key to sending the right positive messages to any players that we want to sign, is having somebody like Ampadu going, yeah, tick, I'll sign me down. I'm here. I'm here for the foreseeable. And if somebody does want to come and talk to me about moving, then they're going to have to pay big bucks because I've got a 4-year contract that I need to honor.
That's the point. It safeguards Leeds as well as the player. The player knows where his next 4 years are going to be. Who decides he wants to leave? Leeds have got the benefit of a couple of years on a contract, so they can demand a fee from, and they'll definitely get more than they paid from. 7 million quid they spent on him 3 years ago. So, yeah, look, he's a hugely important player. He doesn't pick up all the Player of the Year awards unless you're a good player, like especially when the fans.
And also, if he thought, I remember Robert Snodgrass when he won the stay at Leeds, and he looked around and he thought, well, you're selling players around me, and this club's going nowhere. I'd love to stay. I need to go. And Ampadu, they're not stupid. His agents aren't stupid, and they're looking and thinking, yeah, he knows the plan. This is good for you. It's good for you. Yeah. So,
and I'd be shocked if he hasn't sat down with the owners and gone, well, what's the next 3 years look like? Or what's the goal? Sell this. I mean, Prague said Farke doesn't need to sell on the project, but there might be a little bit of selling the project to players now to say, you've been with us for this part of it. That first season Ampadu came in wasn't easy, especially the start of that season. He was coming into a club and watching players walk out the door, like right up until deadline day. So they'll want reassurances there, but that's important. And the Wilson one's really interesting. So
didn't he as well say about players' bonuses spread equally throughout the team? Yeah.
All squad.
The whole squad, not on many appearances and that sort of thing.
It keeps everyone pushing the same direction, doesn't it? It means everyone's chasing the same goal.
Everybody's the same. So it's all good. Yeah.
The Harry Wilson stuff's interesting, but shout out to Ellen Back, who sent me some detail tonight. Basically, points out that Harry Wilson's odds on joining Leeds have gone from 4-1 to 2-1 after Villa were named as the front runners. Villa are still labelled as the front runners, but as Paul has said, there are reports coming out of Wales that Ampadu was in his ear and was trying to sell the Leeds project to him. And again, as Paul has rightly said, there was a deal in principle agreed with him last summer before it collapsed on deadline day with Fulham. I would still imagine at this point in his career, a big bag of money will decide where he goes in the end. I think depending on game time and cash, this will be it. And Villa are obviously interested in him. I saw a rumour that Liverpool might look at him as well, bring him back to Liverpool. Don't know about that one. But it would be a very smart bit of business for Leeds to get done, especially if they can get him for nothing and then focus. And again, we talked about this yesterday on Transfer Talk. Of all the different players being linked with Leeds, that's the only one that's been confirmed that Leeds United have interest in. So we'll see where that goes. We still got ground to run on that. The window doesn't open until next Monday, and we'll see where that goes. But good start to the summer for Leeds. We've got a bit to talk about in terms of the lads' players of the year. So I gave mine at the last week when Andrea Russo we talked about this. Got a couple of brackets, and then we'll go into your votes for your player of the year. We have the most improved player. We have signing of the season. We have the moment of the season. We have goal of the season and player of the year to give out this year. And to be very clear and transparent on this, because there is always the comment, we asked you guys to nominate in all of these categories. Based on your nominations, we then put the shortlist together and then gave you the chance to vote on them. None of these has been picked and none of these have been decided by us. It is 100% voted and nominated by you, the viewers. We believe in democracy. This is the most democratic way of voting for the channels. And again, you watch the content, you listen to us. You guys should be in control of what the channel's players of the years are. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about. The lads don't know who has got what. I haven't shown them yet. I have them ready to go. So I want to ask them. So I'm going to start off in the order we'll start off when we get stuck into this. First off is the most improved player. Now, this can fall into any bracket that you wanted it. This can be a player who started the season maybe underrated and finished the season strong. It can be a player whose expectation wasn't what it was towards the end of the season. He's grown over the course of the year. Or a player who's just massively improved all around since last season. It's kind of open to interpretation a little bit. But a player who has improved over the course of this season. I'm going to start with Gerry on this. Gerry, who and why is your most improved player?
Yeah, there's a few. I mean, if you're saying players who new to the club had slow starts, I would say Stack had a slow start, and at times I remember the Burnley game that it was his poorest, and you look how he finished the season and his actual contribution off the field as well, tops. And you look and any of the players that come in took a while. There's some players did an S curve, or you look at Brendan. If you're asking me this question in January, I would have said Brendan, after the Newcastle game, and then he tailed off. Tanaka had spells where he was brilliant up and down. And this, I was thinking about this, and there's two. I've been saying all season, I thought Pascal has been great. Had a good season, and he stepped up. You know, he didn't think he'd be a regular, but the three at the back sort of cemented him in there, and I thought he was good. The odd Pascal type error where he's got turned, but I think overall, if you look at a player who's come in and done a job and done it the second season in a row when he's retired, I thought Carl Darlow is mine, because since Perry had a shaky start and he got dropped, and Darlow's come in, and other than a dodgy game against Sheffield Wednesday in the League Cup, which nobody remembers now, where he let one in, I think some of the saves, he's had a brilliant season. Was you or somebody saying about the stats, the saves he's made this year? And I think for me, Carl Darlow, a player who, you know, we thought come in, wasn't brilliant when League Cups and FA Cups, and he come in average, thought, you know, someone will move on. We need probably a goalkeeper. I think he's cemented himself. He's gone to the stage now you think, give the guy a contract, because where are you going to find a consistent Premier League keeper like that? Who's made I imagine a couple hundred appearances with Newcastle and wherever else he's been. And I think he's for me, most improved player over the season.
I think he cost us £400,000. I think there was reports even about a £4 million fee, and people were saying, and I said, yeah, £4 million's fine for a backup goalkeeper. Got him for 400,000. I tell you what, goalkeeper we're not getting, Nick Pope. So for the reports this morning in the news, Leeds did not and have not approached Newcastle for Nick Pope.
But he's busy at the BBC, isn't he? Yeah, he's busy commentating, so he's not coming, is he? No Pope at Leeds. No.
Pope. By the way, Pope is joining us tomorrow. We'll be recording with Adam Pope tomorrow for Wednesday. So we'll have some details from Adam tomorrow. And Paul, who is your most improved player?
Bogle.
Interesting.
Yeah. Just because there was a lot of pressure on his shoulders at the very, very start of the season. I think that it took him a couple of games to adjust, but once he did adjust, he was just unbelievably brilliant in terms of the role that he was playing, bringing the ball forward, his defensive capabilities. He made Garnacho look like, I'm not going to swear very, very violently, but he made him look super ordinary. He's dealt with everything that's been put in front of him. The guy has got a ridiculous engine on him. And as much as I like James Justin, and believe me, I do. I love James Justin. When he's playing in Bogle's position, you can tell that Bogle's not inside in terms of that being able to bring the ball forward. I just think for that level of consistency that he's gotten to this season, for me, yeah, it's Bogle for me.
It's that balance, isn't it, on both fullback areas? And you've got Bogle and Goodmunds, and you've got both. One will bomb, one will stay. One will bomb, one will stay. You've got that additional attacking threat. James Justin, more of a defender, and a very good defender in his own right, but
a crock.
He scored
and a waste of money.
So, you know,
a crock and a waste of money, wasn't he? We were had by Leicester. It was one player I meant to mention if you're looking at improvement. I suppose I'd say about Bogle, I just think not improved. I just think he kept his high standards. That's probably why I didn't. But you're right.
A hell of a jump, like.
He stepped up. You're right, Paul. He stepped up. But that's why I thought he's just kept it level, isn't he? And Goodman's can come in and started brilliant. Yeah. Kept it going, Now,
but the thing he had to replace Luke Ayling as well, who was so consistent for Leeds as right back for such a long period of time, and to come in and now be so consistent in that position. And like when he is out of the team, you expect him to go straight back in when he does come back. So yeah, fair show, Paul. Gerry, signing of the season. Who and what?
Well, there's about 6 good ones we made, but geez, if you get probably a £30 million player on a free, he's a crock as well, useless. Yeah, couldn't get fit. You know what I'm talking about. And I mean, Calvert-Lewin has just been if you said any Premier League team will give you a striker who'll get you 14 goals in the Premier League, and you'd say, oh yeah, we'll probably have to pay 30-40 million for him. I think without doubt he's been the sign of the season. And again, we've said it so many times on the pitch. You know, his work rate, the way he wins headers, the leap on him is incredible. Yeah. Off the field, intelligent guy. You can see he's doing with other people. I think he's been absolutely fantastic. I'm sure he's getting well paid, and it cost us a bit. Of course it has. But everybody thought, oh, you signed him. That's not good enough. You know, special mentions for Mecha as well. He's got 6 goals. Another crock we got. Stack, the whole lot of them, you know, come in. Justin, all great signs. But Calvert-Lewin, far and above. Not only the best sign at Leeds, I think wasn't he third or fourth best sign? Didn't we say this last week? And
Yeah, he was in the top
somebody
10
ridiculous
for the Premier League
best
awards.
sign. I can't remember who it was, but I pound for pound, no pounds for pound. He's fantastic. And if we were to sell him in the old market, he's 30, 40 million. Getting back into the England squad, for God's sake.
Yeah,
it was, he was unlucky not to go to the World Cup, I thought.
So
he isn't. We'll keep him safe. Keep him safe. Yeah, keep him safe. Yeah. James Justin and Bogle, I thought were all.
Bogle, yeah,
I thought they were all edge of the English squad. I mean, Bogle and Justin.
England will get an attacking-minded manager, and they'll bring attacking players to a World Cup. You know.
I think Bogle's one of the Bogles from Galway, isn't he? I mean, we should look into that.
Yo, Bogles.
There's loads of Bogles. There's a real clan over there. Come on, you must have something there. Come on, really easy.
Oh,
we never just played Seamus Coleman. Yeah.
No.
Sorry, yeah. So it's Calvert-Lewin for me, and I think I'll be right on this one. Putting my house on that.
Well, I've taken them all down, so they're not visible on the page right now, so no one. They were deleted at 3 o'clock today. So, Paul, get up off your chair and tell me who you got.
Does Gerry want to go on a bit longer?
No, I'm done. No, stole your thunder, isn't
it? It's got to be Calvert-Lewin, hasn't it? It's somebody that's come in on a free, somebody that's come in with a lot of negativity behind him, and somebody that's just gotten into what Leeds United is. Somebody that a Yorkshire player, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So everything that you want to see. It took him a little while to get going, but he had that absolute purple patch in the middle of the season. 128 aerial duels won. That's not 128 aerial duels attempted. That's 128 aerial duels won. And the high intensity pressures, he's 4th in the league in terms of high intensity pressures. Just everything about him has just been brilliant. The fact that he stayed fit.
That's just running around, Paul. That's just running around the place.
Don't start with me.
I'm sorry.
I'm on edge. All right.
He could explode.
Continue.
Yeah, but just everything about him, and Gerry mentioned it. The way that he gets the club, the way that everything that he does, on the pitch and off of it, in terms of you can see how he's seen as a senior player immediately. He commands respect. If you've not done so, and I would assume that everybody has, but if you've not done so, listen to the podcast that he did with the Leeds United podcast, because it gives you a real insight into who he is as a player and the level of confidence that he has in his ability, and for him to be able to score goals it's top notch. It gives a really good insight into a striker. I just think he's a nice guy, and I think watching him with his daughter on the pitch on the last game of the season, just all of that was brilliant to watch. And it's just, I think he's found himself a new home, and he's warmed to it and done fantastically well. And I don't think there's an ego with him. Just for me, best signing of the season.
Yeah.
Model professional, isn't he? He's a good-looking boy, isn't he? He's a good-looking boy.
Yeah.
I liked him in the promotional material as well for the new kit as well, sitting on top of the mug of coffee.
We talked about that. That was a brilliant production. Absolutely fantastic.
If Leeds are not selling Chief Cups, they're missing a trick. They will sell out, with the trefoil. But yeah, that was fantastic, top to bottom. Great video. Right, Paul, I'll stay with you just to mix it up a little bit. Moment of the season for you. And again, this is subjective. This is whatever you feel was an important moment during the season for you.
For me, the moment of the season was beating Chelsea 3-1, because at that point, that's when I wasn't 100% convinced that we were going to stay up, but I looked at that squad and went, yeah, this is a team of players that are confident in each other, that have the ability, and it just gave me that little bit of, I know a lot of people are going to go to Old Trafford and stuff and things like that, but which is fine. But for me, it was that
personal preference, Paul. This is and everyone else who's got a different opinion is completely entitled to it. That's their opinion on this. This is your opinion, based on what you.
For me, that game was the realization of that. Yeah, we're going to stay up, and just watching like Ampadu, just like I said, just dog walk Enzo Fernandez all over the pitch was just brilliant. The tackle, the 3-prong tackle, and all of that, just everything, and watching Okafor come on in the second half in that game, and just that then suddenly realizing, wow, we've got a player on our hands here, because he just changed the motion of the game a little bit, which was really, really good to see. Obviously, his involvement in Calvert-Lewin's goal. Tanaka was nuts that game as well. But just everything about that game, for me, was my individual moment of the season.
Okay. Gerry, what about you?
Yeah, I suppose if you look at it right through the season, the first game against Everton, the last minute penalty, definitely was a penalty. And that's, you thought, we're off to a flyer here. When after that bad patch, that second half against Man City was brilliant. The Liverpool comeback, as Paul said, the Chelsea game, all those games, building it up at Anfield, even personal moments like the crack we have with Barry and what have you in the, Barry telling me he just loves coming for the crack, really. That's it, yeah. And he's, as I said, he's renewed the season ticket. I thought, that's optimism. Well played, Barry. But yeah, I suppose if I'm looking for the obvious one, it's got to be Old Trafford. That's win and thinking, it's 2-1. They're going to do it again. Just walking out of the stadium in among them and just hearing them griping and moaning. I thought, I had no colours on, never do it. It was beautiful. And I think, the Brighton goal at the end of the season was just pure joy. You were with us, Paul. It was just pure joy. It was nothing on the game, but just one. And it was that feeling, wow, this has been a great season. And I'm going to West Ham and not giving it a flying whatever. It was great. But yeah, the winning at the Theatre of Wet Dreams with the leaky roof was the moment of the season. That was just beautiful. 81. Although special mention for the penalty against West Ham, the penalty shootout, and that child in goal trying to say that he nearly got it. Just seeing his face was good enough for me. But Haskell striking that one in, that was a nice moment. That was
another penalty.
Beautiful. So, man, I have a special mention for the West Ham game.
Great. Right, okay.
I think I've covered all
every game.
games.
I started writing down what you'd picked. I started off with Everton, then I had Liverpool, then I had Chelsea. I pulled them all out now. I've got Manchester.
To build it up.
Yeah, build it up. Yeah, you're right. It's like the Oscars. It's like the Oscars here. Yeah, mine was the second half against Manchester City. I think it was massive. That decision changed things.
That was a moment.
Yeah, big moment. Somebody very, very well wrote very well in the comments that was the starting moment of the season, and beating Manchester away from home was the other bookend of what made the season. So fair on that one as well. Paul, goal of the season.
Sunderland.
The one where everyone touched the ball.
Yeah, just everything about that was fantastic. Really, really quick thinking. The way it all ended up there, and I know we've been blessed this season with some absolute stunners. Just for me, for that one, it's because every man was involved in touching the goal. So that's the proper definition of a team goal for me. So that's easy choice for me.
Beautiful goal. Gerry, what about you?
Well, you should put brackets stack. He had that one at Wolves, and then the one at Villa, which was goal of the season. Again, I'll go route one, and that's pretty easy. Justin's overhead kick.
Justin's overhead was pretty special.
Yeah, and there was some cracking goals. There was. I was trying to remember. I meant to look it up. But it was what game was it? The Wolves game or the Burnley game? The back heel from Calvert-Lewin and the cross. Burnley, was it? But Calvert-Lewin back heel, the cross from who finished? I can remember the cross and thinking, you shouldn't have crossed and complete finish. It was a.
I know the one. They was going out playing the right hand side, and he had his back to me. He didn't know look back. Bogle then picked it up and he squared it.
He's overdone this.
Was it
the cross from Bogle
wasn't.
Okafor, because we all said that he scuffed it, but he didn't. It was a really nice side.
It was just a pure. But that stack against Villa, I remember watching that, and Martin had just no chance, So he's easy. I think again, I'll go the easy ones, but the Sunderland, I've forgotten about that one. Wow, that was
against Manchester United. Elland Road was a good finish as well. His goal against Newcastle as well was really. He should have had the goal of the season. I think at the start of the season when he ran the length of the pitch. First half of the season when he ran the length of the pitch and hit the bar. I think that might have been against Newcastle as well. Someone will correct me. There was lots of them.
Newcastle. There was loads of decent ones. Tanaka at West Ham. They're all coming back
against Chelsea again. That was a worldie, just an absolute slap of a ball.
The touch from Bogle into his foot is just instant, bang, done, straight into his foot. He didn't even need to do anything. It was great.
But even the one with anything within off anybody's backside around, they're great goals as well. Anything. The one Chelsea, wasn't it? The back pass or something where Calvert-Lewin nipped in.
Matches won and we came off the bench and he just gets he stretches for the ball and flicks his ankle around the player.
Yes.
That's that one against Fulham. Yeah.
Right, lovely finish as well. Great cross. Yeah, there's lots of them. There was a lot, but good. That's we got Sunderland. Yeah, I would have said Sunderland as well because team goal. Love that move. It was a beautiful move. I thought everyone touched it. And listen, any video that has a counter on how quick it takes to get from there to there in a goal and how many players are touching it, that'll do for me. So, that was my vote. Right, big one. I think I can guess this is not rocket science. Heart surgery for anybody here. Paul, player of the year.
Ampadu.
Okay, Gerry.
Sorry, Ali, do you want me to expand on it?
I mean, you can. It's a podcast. You can elaborate if you feel like it.
Fair enough. We don't want dead air, and how awkward you get with dead air and political conversations. We're not going to do that.
Don't start.
Sorry. So, just for me, just everything about him, his level of consistency, his level of just being in charge on the pitch, and just seeing what he does and how he plays. And like I said, I've said a number of times, if you think that a player doesn't do very much during the game or isn't thinking, I watch a player for 10 minutes. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and watch what he does. Watch the work that he gets through. Watch where he's placing himself, where he's moving, what he does when he receives the ball, when he's passing the ball back out again. Just for me, Ampadu, and he just epitomises everything on the pitch and off the pitch. Easy decision.
The upper tier of the East stand is great for that.
Yeah.
If you want to see what a player does in an entire 90 minutes, get a seat in the upper tier and watch them. Watch the movement of the players. Calvert-Lewin's movement off the ball is absolutely fantastic. The space he finds. It's excellent. It was also a place years ago where I caught Luke Murphy out for being a 5-yard player, and from that point on, I couldn't unsee it. Just did this. That's all he did, and left and right. That was it. But it's a great spot to have a little look at a player and go, what does he actually do on a pitch? Watch him. Take a couple of minutes. Gerry, player of the year.
Yeah, well, it's obvious it's Ampadu, but I suppose special mention Calvert-Lewin. We've mentioned why he should have been up there. I particular mention for Bial. I think not only will he be the next Bond villain, but I wouldn't mess with him. He's just got that granite Eastern European look about him. I don't think he missed a header this year. It took him a while to get into the team, and it might have been that Man City game that got him in there.
It was the first time he came on. That was the turnaround for him.
That back three, Joe Rodon as a left wing back sometimes, or right, whatever. He running down, he adapted. But Pascal, I've always mentioned Pascal throughout the season have been good. And I suppose if you condensing it again, and you've mentioned many times, Paul, Okafor, from when he came back fit in that 2-month spell, he got us over the line. And more to come from there. And Carl Darlow as well. But it's Ampadu. It's got to be Ampadu because pure consistency, leadership, blah, blah, blah. We don't have to elaborate anymore.
Okay. I have Ampadu as well. I think the fact that we're talking about so many last summer's signings, potential players of the year, tells you how good last summer was. And again, I keep saying, I think the recruitment team should have credit in the bank this summer and let do their job without any overreaction. And we'll see where we are then come Christmas and see if those players have settled in. Okay, right. Your votes, folks. These are the official ones. That's our opinions. These are the official ones as voted for you by you. First one up, most improved player. The vote went to Carl Darlow with 42% of the vote. Second was Brendan Aronson with 30%, Jakob Bial 17%, and 12% for Pascal Stroke. People asked why did Jakob Bial even fall into this category. Firstly, he was nominated by people, and secondly, he wasn't in the squad really or playing much matches up until that second half against Manchester City. But Carl Darlow had a hell of a season from a player that was again second choice coming into this season, was the backup option, ends up making that jersey his own and pulling off some of the best saves I've seen in goal for Leeds United keeper in a very long time towards the back end of that season, and a huge part of making sure Leeds got over the line. Any issues there, lads?
No. That's because I said he was.
You did, Jeff. I think you pretty much got them all. I think got them all, Gerry, actually, to be honest with you. Next up, signing the season was voted as Dominic Calvert-Lewin with 50% of the vote. Second place was Anton Stack with 40%, James Justin with 7%, and Noah Okafor came in with 2% of the vote. Again, they were just of the ones that were nominated the most. We only had 4 places in the polls, so these were the ones that were nominated the most. So congratulations to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, rated as the signing of the season.
Bial's not in there. And
Bial's not in there. He was. Somebody else said to me about most improved player. How come Gruev wasn't there? And I was like, well, did you vote for him? Because he wasn't
Nobody
nominated.
ever remembers Gruev.
It's your fault.
That's my fault. Yeah, I can only put
No,
four in here.
not you. To the person that said, "Why isn't he in there?" It's your fault.
Yeah, nominate him. You had the chance. Yeah, everyone had a chance for weeks. Right, moment of the season. There's two main standout options: halftime against Man City, and 2 at the Stretford End away win at Manchester United, and that got the vote with 80% of the overall vote, 20% going to halftime against Manchester City. Okafor pictured there with the goal. Well, one of his goals in a fantastic night. First time since 1981 that Leeds beat them in their own place. So more of that to come. Fingers crossed. Then we move on to the second last one, and that is goal of the season. It was voted by you guys as Anton Stack with 61% of the vote. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's goal against Sunderland, where every player got a touch, came in second with 39% of the vote. So massive congratulations to Anton Stack there. I was there. It was the one time I had to try and hide one of the best goals I've ever seen, and I couldn't celebrate it, which was a killer. But what a goal! What a goal!
I was among them as well that day. Yeah, I was with the Villa fans, and
you're below me. You're sitting just below me. Yeah, I was sitting up in the top chair. Yeah, hiding. Sitting on my hands.
Feel the vibration.
No surprise to anybody. The player of the year, as voted for by everyone in a landslide, was Ethan Ampadu. Came in with 76% of the vote. In second place was Gabby Goodmunson with 12% of the vote. Then Dominic Calvert-Lewin with 9% of the vote, and then Joe Rodon with 3% of the vote. Joe Rodon, who just has quietly gone about his business this year. I think we said this on another podcast. Don't underappreciate Joe Rodon, whatever you do. Appreciate that man for as long as we have him, because the work that he does, it goes unseen. That's always a sign of a very good footballer. So, Ethan Ampadu again, and he picked up another one. I think he picked up the AMT Player of the Month award as well.
Yeah, he did.
The season. So, huge congratulations. Great month for Ethan Ampadu, and deserves to enjoy his little break now after his international games. And his new 4-year contract as well. So they're all the awards. They will be on the Instagram, the Facebook, and the Blue Sky, all of the X account as well over the next couple of minutes and hours. But yeah, that will wrap up the 2025-2026 season. We are going to, our next get-together of the three lads is going to be loan, keep, sell, which is just an opinion stream before anyone gets in. Knickers in a twist.
Panic. That's when we panic and get angry.
Yeah, someone's going to get angry. I can't believe you said that. It's just opinions. It's just opinions. But we'll have a chat about the squad as well. I mean, Matteo Joseph was mentioned today about what's next for him. Jermaine Beckford was talking about him. So lots to talk about when we get into the squad conversations. We start to talk about what next season will look like. And again, the transfer window opens on Monday, so we're likely to see silly season go into overdrive and have to try and navigate that as best we can. We have news out in the morning. We will have transfer talk at the weekend, and we'll have another podcast out on Wednesday night with Adam Pope from BBC joining me tomorrow morning to record that. We'll have it out on Wednesday night for you then as well. Any final thoughts, lads? Paul, anything you want to leave us with before we wrap up tonight?
Just a big thank you to you guys for giving me a platform just to sound off on. To everybody that watches the podcasts, or people that complain, people that are happy with what we do, everything. The support this season has been absolutely fantastic, and it's been very, very, very enjoyable to be a part of, and just to be, three bald men, although I am growing my hair back slightly. Yeah. Just that kind of the older statesman of the group of Leeds fans, and it's nice to see that it connects with people. I enjoy it. We're over 40, mate. We're older statesmen. Don't worry about it.
Oh, 60.
Over 60. I remember the 70s, for God's sake.
Prime years, man. Remember, 20 years ago was 1980. You remember that? Just remember that. Yeah.
Yes.
But no, in all seriousness, just thank you for the support for this, but also for my channel as well. There's people that have come over from here as well, which has been greatly appreciated, and it's just nice that it's without sounding too soppy and everything and stuff and all of that kind of good stuff. It's an actual honor and a privilege to be able to put together information that people can digest, that people can enjoy, and that can spark conversation and all of that kind of stuff. I feel very, very lucky and privileged to be able to do that. And it's thanks to people that watch it on a consistent basis that allow us to do that. So thank you.
And look, as we always say, people are not always going to agree with what we say. These are just our opinions. This is just our perspective on football. It's like three lads sitting in the pub having a conversation. The only difference is we stick a camera on it. That's all. And if you've got different opinions on it, absolutely no problem at all. Football is a game of opinions, and without opinions, it would be a very boring place to be. So everyone's entitled to their own say and own view on things as well. Gerry, how about you? Anything you want to leave us with tonight?
Yeah, the same thing. You've created a monster here, Ger. It's flying. I look at some of the numbers that I watch this stuff. People have come up to me and said, "You're on." Somebody asked me for a photograph, which was embarrassing and brilliant at the same time. I love it, and I
Broke his
don't.
camera.
I do, and I don't. Yeah, it's good. It is like Paul's says. It's therapy. It's, it really is. Sometimes when you've had a bad game, it draws a line under it, and it's great. Somebody who said in the comments last week he wished I was his granddad. Come on, I'm not. But maybe I've got a view of myself that I don't realize. Maybe that's how I look. I'm 62, so I remember stuff. I remember. So, but it's great. I enjoy the crack with you two guys. It's always good fun. I get to say stuff that nobody really cares about, but people do, and Moles and Declan Rice and Jesse Marsh. And that, I forgot to tell you about the mouse that ran under my feet yesterday in the garden. That scared the hell out of me. But I get to say stuff like that, as well as I can't say the word. Talk about Leeds. Julies? No, whatever the word is.
I don't know.
Being able to, no, probably it'll come to me later. But I'm able to wax lyrical about the best team in the world and the best fans, and that's the best thing. And some great moments this year. I got really close to Paul. Really close to Paul during games.
I mean, physically, I've seen the 2 years as well.
Yes, love bites and everything, as somebody once said, and the shakiest leg you'll ever meet. So it's good crack, and hope to see us in the new season. And we'll be talking in the meantime. The World Cup's going to be different, and but I've got my wall chart up, and there we go.
Yay, there it is.
This is the moles in my garden, and it's getting serious now. But
it got political. It did get political. Where's the political one? Yeah. Where are they? There we go.
Vote Ramol.
Vote Ramol. Yeah. Candidate for the deep state. Dig deep for victory. Yeah. There's a nominee there as well. Look, it's very good.
So welcome to my world. It can be a serious place, but you got to laugh sometimes. And thank you to my mate Alan who sent me those. Yeah, I didn't necessarily do those, so it's good stuff. So great season. Really enjoyed it. Probably need something really bad to happen next season so we can really be angry. But no, we don't.
No, we don't.
It's good. It's good to talk about good stuff. Good team. Good players. Good fans. Good people. Good times.
We will say it as we see it at the moment in time, and if we're wrong, we're wrong. We don't mind being wrong, but we will avoid the sensationalist angle on things and just have a chat about football. So we're not going anywhere, as I said before, but that will draw a line under our chatting about last season, at least in any major kind of angle, and we'll move forward into next season and we'll start talking about what is next for Leeds United. Folks, if you enjoy this kind of content, you can subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on the audio platforms, you can give us a follow and a channel rating. And if you do want to hit like on your way out the door, that would be massively appreciated. And if you're buying the new Leeds United official home shirt, you can do that through the Fanatics links, as our official partnership with Leeds United and Fanatics continues for a bit longer. So if you want to get involved in that, you can check the lads out over on Leeds Therapy and Talking Leeds, linked down below as well. And I will talk to you tomorrow morning for more Leeds New. See you later. Bye.